I told you that there's a way to get professional content without sacrificing your client relationships or going broke. If you're a solopreneur that's drowning in content creation while your real work piles up, this video could save your sanity and your business. Stay with me because I'm about to show you exactly when to outsource your content creation, how much it really costs, and the one mistake that could destroy your brand voice forever. Hey, I'm Doree, and I've helped clients just like you who are exactly where you might be right now, spending entire weekends creating content instead of having fun with your friends or spending time with your family. I know what you might be thinking. If I want something done right, I've got to do it myself. But slow down. If those tasks aren't directly related to your zone of genius, then you need to hand them off to somebody else. In this video, I'll explain what outsourcing content creation entails, how to know when you're ready to hire help, which content types give you the biggest return on investment, ROI, how to find writers who get your brand, and do it all without breaking the bank or losing your unique voice. Let's go. When it comes to creating content as a solo business owner, you're not just competing with other businesses, you're also competing with your own billable hours. Every hour that you spend creating content is an hour that you're not earning money from clients. I see solopreneurs who are not writers spending 10, 15, 20 hours a week or more on content creation. That's insane if your hourly rate is $100 or more. But here's what really happens. You start missing deadlines because client work comes first. Then your blog sits dormant for weeks, your social media goes quiet, and your audience starts to forget about you. It's this horrible cycle where you're either neglecting your content or neglecting your clients. The next thing I'm about to say is specifically for solopreneurs who are not content pros. You ready? The biggest lie that you tell yourself is that you are the only one who can write about your business properly. Professional writers know how to structure content for engagement, optimize for SEO, and write headlines that actually get clicked. That's their specialty, just like your core business is your specialty. You may know your stuff, but that doesn't automatically make you a great writer. So when do you know you're ready to outsource? It's not about being lazy or giving up control. There are some specific indicators that can tell you when it's time. First, if you're consistently making over $5,000 per month, you can probably afford to invest in content. If your content creation is eating up more than 10 hours of your week, you're past the DIY threshold. But here's the real kicker. If you're turning down client work or missing deadlines because you're stuck writing blog posts or creating content, then you need help yesterday. Now, don't try to outsource when your business is still unpredictable. Wait until you have systems in place and steady cash flow. Otherwise, you'll just add more stress to an already chaotic situation. The sweet spot for outsourcing is when you have predictable income, clear brand guidelines, and enough work to keep a writer busy consistently. When it comes to outsourcing, not all content is created equal. Blog posts are usually your best starting point because they take the most time and give you the biggest SEO impact. A good writer can research, write, and optimize a 1,500-word blog post in 3 to 4 hours. If you're not a pro writer, that same post could take you 2 or 3 times as long. Social media content is another great option because it requires consistency more than deep expertise. A skilled social media writer can batch create a month's worth of posts in a few hours, whereas a person without those skills has to scramble for content ideas every single day. Email newsletters are also perfect for outsourcing. Yes, they need to be regular and engaging, but they don't require your personal touch on each sentence. So what should you keep in-house and do yourself? Anything that requires your specific expertise or personal experience. Case studies, detailed how-to guides based on your methods, and highly personal stories could probably stay with you, at least until you find a writer who really gets your brand voice down and understands your business inside and out. Finding good writers isn't about going to browsing platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and then picking the cheapest option. Save yourself the hassle and start with your network. Ask other business owners who they use. Check industry Facebook groups, LinkedIn connections, and reach out to writers whose work you admire when you read other blogs. Personal referrals are gold because you can actually get the information about what their results were. Here's another tip. Look for samples of things that they've done in your industry and other similar businesses. A travel blogger might be a great writer, and I am. But depending on their background, they may or may not understand B2B software challenges. Also, pay attention to their communication style in emails. If they can't write a professional and clear email, how will they represent your brand? Here's a pro tip that has saved me tons of headaches. When you start with a new writer, do a small paid test project before committing to anything big. It could be like a blog post or two, or a few social media posts. This lets you see their work quality, their communication style, and how well they can follow instructions and adhere to your guidelines. It's worth paying just $200 to $500 up front than to be surprised and avoid a $5,000 mistake later. Brand, voice, and tone. This is where most people mess up in their outsourcing. They don't give their writers enough guidance about their brand voice. Your writer isn't a mind reader, and they likely have multiple clients that each have their own brand voice and tone guidelines. Be sure that before you try to outsource to any writers, that you create a simple style guide with examples of content that sounds like you and content that doesn't. Include your preferred tone, do's and don'ts on words that you use in your brand voice, and any industry-specific language you use or don't use. Also be sure to set up a review process that actually works. Yes, you should be the one to review all content before it goes live, but don't rewrite everything. If you're spending more than 15 to 20 minutes editing a piece, either your brief wasn't clear enough or the writer isn't the right fit. Experienced writers should need only minimal editing once they understand your style. The goal isn't for the piece to sound exactly like you would write it. It's to sound like something you would confidently put your name on. There's a difference. Professional writers can often improve your content while maintaining your core message and personality. Trust the process, but check on them and educate them if something feels off-brand. Hopefully now you see that outsourcing content creation isn't about being lazy or losing control of your brand. It's about being efficient. By outsourcing your content creation, you're being smart with your time and focusing on what actually grows your business. So here's a recap of the key takeaways from this video. Wait until you're making consistent revenue of at least $5,000 per month. Start with content like blog posts or social media. Invest in finding the right writer and vet them thoroughly. Once you hire them, maintain quality and creative control. If you're ready to take the next step, I've created a free resource for you on how to outsource your content. It's a complete pros and cons breakdown with checklists to help you make the right decision. The link is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, watch one of these.